centre. We're down to 9 seconds. And it's a mark. He's got to get up, Adcock. Had to give to anybody. It's Zorko. Got a mark and he's got it. The milestone man. A goal will give the Lions an incredible victory. Ash McGrath comes in. It's on its way. It's there. The miracle on grass. The Brisbane Lions have kicked 8 goals in the last quarter. And at the 11th hour, they have won.
Hello, I'm Luke Darcy. Welcome to Access Hilarious. Well, what an amazing comeback. The Lions, 52 points down at the 22-minute mark of the third term, and they came back for a remarkable win. Was it the biggest upset of the round, though, Damien Barrett, as you join me every Monday? Was it the Powers win over the Premiership favourites, the Sydney Swans, or the one we just saw there?
No, give me the miracle on grass, as Hutto called it. So that was the big one. 52 points down, as you said. And the intrigue and the edge of the seat mentality or feeling you had as the surge from the Lions came to us, that was, to me, the bigger upset and the far more enjoyable one to watch.
I want to go back to that final 30 seconds, Damo, and have a look at a man by the name of Dane Zorko. Instrumental. Ball comes in. There's Sauce Merritt, who takes a great mark. Look at Dane Zorko, 22 seconds left on the clock. Now, by that time of the game, Damo, you're virtually out on your feet.
He would have run 15, 16k at this point, already does.
He's had a great year, Dane Zorko. And we fast forward another 15 seconds. You get to the middle of the ground. Look who gets on the handball receive with 4 seconds to go.
And look at the kick.
It's Zorko. Lace out to the man playing his 200th game. And you have to love that, Damo. On the Monday review, a man prepared to run that hard and virtually win the game for them in that effort.
Does Michael Voss been under siege all year? At the end of this year, he'll be 5 years at the Lions and his contract's up. And a lot of talk. Tell us what a win like that can mean for that scenario.
Sign him up right now, Damo.
On the back of that?
Yep. If you have any doubt that the players are playing for their coach, you don't come back from 52 points. I know a lot of people will say win-loss record. He's made one big mistake. The recruiting the senior players and thinking they were more advanced than they were with Favola was wrong. But when you have his history in the game, the type of leader that he is, clearly the group love him. Clearly he's able to get results. They're a young team.
And that mistake,
you don't give up people like that.
That mistake was at the end of year one for him, wasn't it? And it's taken him every much of those 4 years since to get over that. So you reckon right now, on the back of that, this week, make the announcement?
Well, look, I think I'd be staggered if you wouldn't sign him up anyway. But if there's any doubt, the doubt should have been erased on the back of that.
But you wouldn't have been saying that at three-quarter time, would you?
I would have been saying that. I have been saying that all year. I just think with the status of his credentials in the game, Michael Voss, the person he is, he deserves a bit more time to see this group through. And I hope that is what happens. Now, at Geelong, they'll be going through the tape as well. And I think I heard Chris Scott say that he was just holding back his absolute...
Take us what's wrong here, Das. Rich has marked and he swung around onto his trusty left and you knew he was going to kick that the moment he marked it. Now, what's Geelong done wrong here? It's
Jimmy Bartel, who was fantastic on the game, had over 30 possessions again. Probably more Bartel. I think Mackie went to pick up his man. Maybe he could have come off his man. But Bartel just manning the mark a little strongly. Now, Dawson Simpson, 30 seconds to go. You have to know Dawson at that stage. If he goes back, soaks up some time off the clock, kicks it long to the forward pocket, the game's over. So it's just an understanding. Geelong just play that fast flow and play, but the couple of incidents late that probably could have been the difference.
So those results have left the ladder looking like this, and what it does is actually throws question marks around now, both the top 4 and the top 8. Until this weekend, we didn't have a doubt on the top 4 because the Swans would have been entrenched. We wouldn't have been talking about them. And just the Port Adelaide scenario there, sitting 8th, leaving Carlton and West Coast out. Tell us what's going to happen next 10 weeks.
Great story. Now, can't wait for the last 10 weeks, and it's fantastic to have a couple of upsets. Carlton and West Coast are two high-quality teams. I get the feeling if West Coast can get their injured players back and get enough of them playing, I think they'll get inside the 8. Take one of those spots. Still not convinced Port Adelaide, who have got a pretty good draw, and the top 4 wide open as well. Sydney's outside the top 4, given how good their years unfold.
I'm not convinced that Tibbet thing's going to work the way you do too, but we'll discuss that on other accessible areas later down the track. You brought in some stats from Melbourne, Das. You want to show us this as what's happened with Neil Craig, game 1 against Mark Neild's previous...
1 week in, so we are acknowledging that, but that is some serious improvement in a week's time. Disposals there, we're getting smashed by 100 possessions. That's been corrected by 70%. Disposal efficiency's improved. Marks, they won. Inside 50s, they won. They've been averaging a 20-point differential against contested possessions improved, uncontested possessions. Look, new coaches often have an impact week 1. We need to judge Neil Craig over the next 10 weeks.
I think you'll try and bring that same stat recordings on game
and
one.
And a 35-point loss against St Kilda was understandable and bearable and acceptable. So I wouldn't discount Neil Craig out of absolutely putting his hand up for the job if he can coach well in the next 10 weeks.
Not their preferred option, though, but I agree. He's not out of the running, but not their preferred option. So Luke Shuey, you highlighted this, I think, before a lot of people did, the way he gets free kicks for ducking into tackles, which he's done there. Now, look, on the replay here, I reckon he's unlucky to have not received a free kick. Can we just slow it down here a little bit? That's a free kick. Yet what happened?
I think the umpires go into a game, they do their homework, and they say the West Coast are the masters at lowering their body and drawing free kicks. Let's not pay ones that aren't warranted. Well, they've overcooked it there. That's a free kick. If you get wrapped around the shoulder and taken to the ground...
Is that fair enough, though, given it's the person in question was the man who started this whole debate?
Look, I think you just got to pay a free kick if it's there. Yeah. Don't go into a game with any preconceived ideas. Work out if someone's had their head taken off and pay a free kick. Don't overcomplicate it. Now, Dave, I know you're very excited about this. This is your segment. It's a new one to access all areas. And what's the working title?
Well, it's called Who Do You Choose? And you actually have to choose someone. You can't sit on the fence like you so often do. And I'm going to start...
That won't be an issue for me.
Start with you. The better skipper in the AFL, Gary Ablett or Jobe Watson?
Jobe Watson is the man that I would choose, Damo. I think he's an outstanding leader and quite clearly for me the best leader. I'm going to fire one back at you. All-Australian forward pocket, Damo. Jeff Garlett or Lindsay Thomas?
Lindsay Thomas clearly does, almost leading the Coleman medal. I know he's got a hamstring injury, but once he's back, he'll be All-Australian forward pocket.
Had an unbelievable year. Jeffy Garlett would have thought you would have considered him.
More likely would have flagged first, Buckley or Malthouse?
Nathan Buckley, Collingwood's list absolutely in better shape than Carlton's. They've got their fair share of injuries. Bucks will win one before Mick does.
You don't like Malthouse?
Who is more likely to beat an AFL club next year, Damo? Cameron Swab or the weapon, Dean Robinson?
They're both finished, Dust.
I didn't ask you that.
They are. Well, neither will be at a club next year.
Who's more likely to?
They're not going to be. Let's just move on because they're not going to be at a club next year. AFL Grand Final, night or day? I have answered the question. Not going to be at an AFL club next year. Night or day, AFL Grand Final?
Time to head to a night Grand Final, Damo. Move with the times. It would be a sensational event. Imagine the pre-game entertainment. Imagine the crowd. Imagine the audience. The AFL have got to move into the new century. The best TV football coverage, Damo, is it Channel 7 or Fox Footy?
No, it's Fox Footy by a long way. 1997 Caulfield Cup Knight and Power length stars. For 2 words, high definition. Get with it. It's 2013. Best newspaper football coverage, the Herald Sun or the Age?
100% the Herald Sun, Damo, but staggering comment for you before. No doubt for me, the Herald Sun have got it. Best TV show, is it the Thursday night football show or is it the Sunday football show?
I'll answer this, provided you answer the next one. I'll answer it by saying it's the Thursday night footy show purely because of the Sam Newman factor. Answer this. Best TV commentator, Dennis Cometti or Bruce McAvaney?
It's Bruce's 60th birthday on the weekend, and given that, I will say that I love Dennis, but I'll say Bruce. I grew up loving Bruce. Grew up in South Australia, so I'm going to go with Bruce.
All right.
John Worsfold, will he be at the West Coast Eagles next year? Yes or no, Dan?
One word, no. And gone. Who was the better chance? He doesn't want to be there. Who was the better chance for the flag, Geelong or Hawthorn?
Hawthorn, Damo, will absolutely go better than Geelong this year. Who's in a better position moving forward? Your team, North Melbourne or the Gold Coast?
Gold Coast, considerably. They're well placed and will recruit and trade again. Thus, Chris Judd's career, where's it been better, as a Blue or an Eagle?
As an Eagle, for me, when he's surrounded by the guns at their best.
You want a Brownlow at Carlton too?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go the West Coast Eagles. Buddy Franklin, final one. Who do you choose, staying a Hawk or is he going?
3 weeks ago I would have said he's staying. Right now, though, and the latest feeling I've got is he's out of there and he's going to GWS.
How did that work, Damo? Who do you choose?
Well, you didn't sit on the fence. I liked it, Das. So,
all right.
It was good.
That's all we've got time for today. Another edition of Access All Areas. We'll catch you again next Monday. Have a good week. Goodbye.